What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, the other day, in a previous episode, I've upgraded the HAOQI CHEETAH to a Phaserunner controller and a Cycle Analyst display. So that means that we've changed the display. We've changed the controller. We're doing more power. We're doing more phase amps. We got more torque, more acceleration. The motor windings... So when the motor windings kind of limit the top speed on this bike. So when you're on 48 volts, the motor's configured in such a way where it can only go about 30 miles an hour. And you can't really give it more power. It's just like a limitation of the copper windings inside of the motor. It can only go that fast on 48 volts. So I might be able to use a little bit of field weakening, go slightly faster. I don't think I'm going to mess around with field weakening yet. Best way to go faster is higher voltage. So that means different battery, higher voltage. So I do have a slightly, I've got a slightly higher voltage battery right here. This is a 52 volt battery instead of a 48 volt battery. And so the CHEETAH has two batteries, and then it's got a battery combiner down here. So I opened the CHEETAH up in the previous video, took out the stock controller, then hooked up the Phaserunner aftermarket third-party controller, right? So the Phaserunner can do up to 72 volts. So we can start experimenting with higher voltage to see how fast the CHEETAH can go when you increase the voltage a little bit. So I've got this 52 volt battery right here, little baby Samsung, 52 volts. It's 14 cells in series, and then 2 parallel Samsung 40T3 cells. So this little guy can do about 70 amps. So these are high discharge Samsung 40T3 cells. Small battery, but high discharge. So this thing can get going, buddy, but it's only got 8 amp hours of capacity. So once you start draining it, the voltage will kind of start to drop quickly, and it'll kind of drop below. It kind of drains, it drains pretty quick, and then it's kind of like almost like a 48 volt battery. Once you drain it like halfway, it's kind of similar to 48 volts. But so these are Samsung cells, so it'll be interesting to see. There should be less voltage drop. And so the other thing about this is, so we got a battery combiner. It's a 72 volt battery combiner. And so the batteries that are on this bike are 48 volts. I think that since we've got that battery combiner, and the voltage of these batteries is so similar, between 48 and 52 volts, I think I can just hook up this guy to the battery combiner when it's connected to one of the, like the internal 48 volt battery. I think it should work. I mean, because the battery combiner is 72 volts, these are very similar voltage. It'll drain a bunch out of this first, and then I think the battery combiner, once this battery drains down to closer to like a 48 volt level, then it would start draining both of the batteries together. It would start using the internal battery. It would kind of ease up the load on this battery. So we're gonna try this out today. Little baby Samsung, 52 volts. So what I want to do first here, we'll do that in a second. What I want to do first here, let's turn on the Cycle Analyst. Alright, as you can see, we're at 55.2 volts, fully charged. And so I did get the speedo working. It was 1 speedometer pulse per wheel rotation. Kind of threw me off at first because I was hitting the throttle and then I was seeing like, oops, we got to turn the power up a little bit here. I was hitting the throttle and like the wheel was starting to spin, but then I was seeing crazy numbers on the screen. Oh no, I'm not. Weird. Oh no. Yesterday was a long day, and I was having some trouble getting that speedo to work, but it seems like it's accurate now. So what does it top out at? Let's see here. Whoa. So it says 30.6 miles an hour. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to try and make the speedo as accurate as possible. So how we do this is we've got a tape measure, and we're going to measure the diameter of the wheel. So you want to hold this thing straight up and then get your tape measure going straight down to the ground as straight upwards as possible. I'll just maybe line it up with an axle nut. And then, so I'm not going to be able to show you like super great on camera here because I'm doing this with both hands, but you just want to measure from the ground up to the very top of your tire. So let's see, I'm trying to hold this just like straight up so there's no Pythagorean theorem going on. It's close to 29, so let's go in here and configure that. So I had it close, so the speedometer, it says 27.5. Just gonna change this to add, what, like another, so what's 28.75 wheel diameter to circumference in millimeters? So it says 2295.3. So I'm gonna change it to 2295. Okay, and back over there. Alright, so now when we give it, so let's establish what's the top speed. So the battery's at 55 volts. Top speed is about 32. So that matches up. Man, that's crazy. It said the voltage was going up to like 60 something. What was that? You see that? What was that? When I let off the throttle, the voltage was going up to 67. That's so weird. Something to do with the battery combiner, I guess? I don't know. Alright, so I think we've got the speedo set up for the Cheetah. I've got fully inflated tires. I got them inflated all the way. So, and that seems about right. 32. That's about what I was getting on stock once I corrected the wheel diameter setting on that stock controller. So let's, so what do we got here? It says 55.2 volts. So let's disconnect this battery, this dual battery right here. Man, I wonder if little baby Samsung could fit in here, huh? This is 9 amp hours. Little baby Samsung is 8 amp hours, but he's a lot better. But look at it. Look at it. It's like, man, it's just like slightly, I don't know. It's very close. Anyways, so I've got this dual battery, this one right here. It comes down here, and then it goes through this connector down the C-tube inside of here. And then I've pulled one of the wires out right here so that I can disconnect it. Okay? And so the purpose of being able to disconnect this wire mechanically out right here and having it external from here is because then I can just unplug it, and if I have a battery up on the rack or in a backpack or something, we can unplug this and then plug in a different battery, and we've got that battery combiner, so the voltage will just go straight up to the full voltage of your other battery, and it'll start draining that one until this battery kind of reaches that same voltage as the other one. So like I said, I think we can use a 52 volt battery with the 48 volt internal one and this combiner, because this one charges up to 54 and this one charges up to like 58 or 59. Phaserunner can handle this no problem. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to disconnect this. Okay, so going to disconnect it. So it's a XT, these are XT60 connectors. Right, so this is coming from the battery, this one right here, the female one with the holes, and then this goes to the battery combiner. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take little baby Samsung here, put them in a good spot down here, and then, so when you're connecting batteries, so what we have here is, like, I've got this XT90 anti-spark with this green thing on here. And so what this does is it has something special in here so that when you connect this, there's no spark, right? Because if you don't have the anti-spark and you're just connecting batteries, like if I plug this thing in, right? So this anti-spark thing, it only works when you're plugging this in right here, right? So if I just plug this straight into there, we're going to have a big Samsung 40T3 spark that's going to burn up some of the metal inside of here. Like, you can kind of see, like, these things, they eventually wear out. Like, you see how bright and golden this side is, but then over here on this side, it's just like black. That's because it sparks when you connect this thing. So how you avoid this is you use this anti-spark, and this needs to be the last thing that you connect when you connect the battery to the rest of everything, the bike. So I'm going to plug this in first so that we avoid the spark. Alright, so we're going to plug this in first, and then, man, we're fingers crossed. Like, I think that the battery combiner can handle it. I know the Phaserunner can handle it, and the motor doesn't care about the voltage. It's really just kind of like what happens with the battery combiner when I put this in there. And I think it's going to work. I'm feeling good about this. So cross your fingers and give me some prayer hands and comments. I don't want to buy another battery combiner. But so I'm gonna try this. So up here, and it just says 55.2 is what it's at right now. And then in my experience, like, you can just plug things in to this battery combiner, like, without even turning off the display on the stock one, and it just, like, jumps up to the other voltage. So, like, I'm just gonna very, like, briefly and gently. Oh man, that's a little bit weird right there. That's not good. This XT, I might have to redo this XT90. It's a little bit janky. I didn't do a very good job of that. Alright, so let's plug this thing in. Cross your fingers. I don't know. Okay. So now look. Now we're up at 58.1 volts. So that's the voltage of little baby Samsung. This is like almost charged. If you charged them up fully, he would be at 58.8. But it's at 58.1. So now we're on 52 volts. All we had to do is unplug the one, plug the other one in. We're on 58 volts. So now if I lift the wheel and we give it the juice, on 58 volts, the voltage, it should only be dropping just like slightly. And then it should be going faster than 32. Let's see. So it says 33.6. So it goes a little faster. And so the voltage is dropping down just slightly, down to 57.8. It's going 33.6. So increasing the voltage is the main way that you can increase the top speed. So that's cool. Battery combiner can handle it, no problem. So then I am going to disconnect little baby Samsung. We'll plug him in. We're going to plug in little baby Samsung and we're going to see how it performs when I'm actually riding it. I just wanted to see what that no load speed looked like. So we're at 58.1 volts. I'm going to come down here. We're just going to disconnect this and connect it back over here, and it's going to spark, unfortunately. Like, I'm just going to eventually have to fix these connectors. Oh, it didn't spark. Interesting. But now we're back at 55.2. So I'm going to reset the trip here. Okay. Alright, so we have established that we can use 52 volt battery on one battery of the combiner, and we can use 48 volt on the other battery of the combiner. They work fine together, it seems, so far. So we've got that speedo working more accurate. So what else do we want to do? It's been a while since I used little baby Samsung, so I'm just gonna plug him in, charge him up a little bit. This is gonna be very briefly because he's already at 58 volts. I'll probably just charge for a couple minutes, but got a few minutes to blow here before I'm gonna go ride this around, so I might as well charge him up. So I let some air out of this front tire. I put flat out in this tire yesterday, and then I just inflated it really quick and took it on a test ride. And I never really made sure that the tire was like properly seated and stuff. So when I was riding this bike last night, testing it for the first time, it sounded like the tire was not seated properly. So I let some air out of it. It's not all the way completely out, but if you let the air down to like 5 to 10 psi, and then it's like really low, you can just kind of like roll it around usually, and it'll kind of sort itself out. And then when you start inflating it back up, just make sure that you kind of like, as it's inflating, kind of like take pressure off of the front wheel so that the tire is just kind of like hanging freely as you inflate it. Because if you have the bike on the ground, especially if like it's leaning or something on the kickstand, and then you're trying to inflate it like that, sometimes the tire like goes on there kind of funky, and then when you're going, like, you can hear it. So I deflated it down like 5 or 10 psi, and I'm just kind of rolling it back and forth, and then I'm gonna pump it back up and check it. So I guess I actually had it down to like 1.5 psi, so that was like almost completely deflated. So I'm gonna do, let's just do it up to like 10, and then we're gonna check it. So I'm gonna get ready to start lifting. Okay, so I'm just coming around and we're checking right along here, and I don't know, seems okay. See the tire, front tire, let's just call it good. And I'm sure we'll find out once we get going. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get prepared to go for a ride. Alright?
What's up, puppies? We're just all riding the Cheetah, 2,000 watts. Acceleration. Let's shift this baby up into gear, boys. Alright. Here we go. We're out on the open road. On the HAOQI CHEETAH, once again. We're going 29 miles an hour. 700 watts. Traveling very efficiently. There is a sheepish car driving behind me, very slowly. Alright, here we go. So today we're going to take the Cheetah for a ride. We've got the Grin Tech Phaserunner going. We've got the Cycle Analyst display that I can clearly see in the sun. I like that about the Cycle Analyst. A lot of people like displays. Like, you just can't see them in the sun, and it's like, what's going on? So it does have kind of like a retro look, like a TI-86 kind of calculator 1999 look. But it's very feature rich. And the Cycle Analyst, it's not just a display. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize this, but the Cycle Analyst, you hook your brake cutoffs to the Cycle Analyst. You hook your pedal assist sensor. Well, you hook your pedal assist to the Phaserunner, but I think you can hook it to the Cycle Analyst as well. So you can hook a wheel speed sensor to the Cycle Analyst to add a wheel speed sensor to a bike that doesn't have one. Cycle Analyst also measures the power. It can see, we've used 1.5 amp hours. It shows you we're using 13 amps of current. Shows you the voltage. Shows you all kinds of stuff. All kinds of debugging information that you don't find on normal e-bike displays. But the thing about the Cycle Analyst that a lot of people don't realize is it's not just a display, because you hook your throttle up to the Cycle Analyst. And then the Cycle Analyst, so you hook like the brake cutoffs, and you hook your throttle and like your switch and stuff, it all hooks up to the Cycle Analyst. And then the Cycle Analyst just has one waterproof connector that goes down the bike to your controller. And so the Cycle Analyst, since the throttle is actually going through the Cycle Analyst can intercept your throttle signal and then like remap it and change the power delivery of the bike. So on a lot of e-bikes, the power delivery is just based on speed and how fast the motor's going. And it's just got like a speed that it wants to go, certain RPM or whatever. And then it just gives you a full power up to that speed. And a lot of e-bikes can be really jerky and abrupt, and the power delivery just isn't very smooth. And the throttles don't work very good. Like, they're just not very responsive throttles. It's like as soon as you hit the throttle, it'll just feel like it's just giving you full power, and the throttle's not even like a throttle. Like, there's no modulation. It's just like a button to go, almost. So the thing about the Cycle Analyst is the throttle goes through it, so you can actually change like the behavior of the throttle. Oh man, I gotta get my backpack straps out of the way here. So you can actually go into the settings on the Cycle Analyst. Uh-oh. You still going? Nice. So we can go into the settings on the Cycle Analyst to configure the speedometer with our wheel diameter and the magnets on the speed sensor, the battery. We can configure that. So the throttle. So right now it says I have the throttle set to pass through. I think I was using this controller on my BBS HD and I had it on pass through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change that, because there's even cooler modes that we can do. So control mode current, let's try that. That's the one you want. Okay, so then let's back out. So we changed the control mode to current instead of pass through. So what pass through does is the throttle signal, it goes to the Cycle Analyst, and then the Cycle Analyst just passes it through straight to the controller, so that the Cycle Analyst is just passing that through and it's not changing the throttle signal at all. But now that I've changed it to current mode, like, it's gonna change the power delivery of the bike drastically. So as I'm hitting the throttle, I'm controlling like the torque of the motor and how much power it's giving me. And it feels different now. It feels smoother. So you can also change like the gain and stuff. Oh, you can change the gain on the Cycle Analyst to kind of like remap the throttle and how it delivers the power, like how fast it ramps it and stuff. Much better, much better. All right, boys, let's take this cheetah out for a ripper. All right, we're cruising. Oh, don't run me over, buddy. We're cruising, boys. Look at this shit. Yeah. All right, here we go. 7th gear. We're going 28. We don't even need to pedal. When you got the Phaserunner, you don't need to pedal, buddy. Let's get this camera going. Uh-oh. We got a slow poke already. There's like, usually I wouldn't take this bike on this street right now, but there's like no traffic. I don't know what's going on, so let's go. We got 2 lanes. We should be good. Hopefully. You never know with the way that people drive. Let's make sure my HAOQI, let's make sure the HAOQI mirror is looking back there. There we go. Nice. So we're going 28 miles an hour into the wind here. And we're only using like 1,000 watts. So it's more of a torquey motor winding. And it kind of maxes out at about 30 miles an hour on 48 volts. I do have little baby Samsung in my backpack. We can try that out. Maybe I'll go to the park and then we can plug in little baby Samsung, the 52 volt battery. And then there's a hill. I'll go down the hill and then we can see how fast we get going. New side quest. We are ripping around, boys, with the Phaserunner. It was getting a little bit funky right there, a little bit jerky. I think when I put the throttle on current mode, maybe it's giving it a little bit too much or something. I don't know. That was weird. I wonder if it's trying to go into sensorless too early or something. I looked both ways. Don't worry. Let's pedal a little bit. Oh. It's like the harder I pedal, the less power it's giving the motor. So let's put it on 52 volts out of this part. Whoop. So I think refeeding the tire helped. It still might be a little wonky. I don't know. Maybe it's something scraping? No. These people are not looking at all. Let's go see what's popping out here. So I think it sounds... Is that my back tire that's making that noise, or what is that? This squirrel, he is just munching on something. All right. So you can see here on the Cycle Analyst, we're still at 53 volts. So that's pretty impressive. We've gone, so the voltage is still like, it hasn't dropped very much. Huh, I wonder what kind of battery cells are in here. So we've gone 5.74 miles. We've used about 4 amp hours out of 25. So I think I'm gonna do, so we're at 53 volts, but little baby Samsung is a 52 volt battery, and that he's fully charged. So little baby Samsung's more like 58 volts. So let's plug in little baby Samsung. See what happens. Let's plug them in. Just briefly. I decided there's a hill right here. We can plug them in, try them out. But then I'm probably gonna put it back on the main batteries, just so I can keep track of how many amp hours I've discharged out of those. And then we can always use little baby Samsung. I use it as kind of like a backup battery. Let's see, where is he? So little baby Samsung is Samsung 40 T3 cells. So each one of those cells can discharge like 35 amps continuous. And then when you have them in 2 parallel, so this is 14S, so 14 cells in series, and then there's 2 in parallel. Right, so that means that each parallel group can discharge about 75 amps, and then you build up those series connections to get the 52 volts. So we're gonna plug in, we're gonna get little baby Samsung going here. Let's see. So I'm probably gonna put some kind of like adventure mobile storage thing on the back of this, and it's gonna end up looking really funny real soon, boys. And we're gonna go on like a really long ride. But so for right now, we're just gonna disconnect. We're gonna disconnect this battery, the second battery. So we're gonna disconnect this one right here from the bike. Okay. And then we can run down our cable. So I'm just gonna plug this in first so it doesn't spark. And then I'm gonna run this cable. So this is on the right side of my backpack. So I'm gonna run it over here, down through here. Plug that in. Okay. So now up on the display, it says we're at 59 volts, 59.5 volts. I don't know if that's right. I've noticed some interesting things with the battery combiner and the voltage. Like, yeah, I've noticed it go up to like 60 something volts when I just had the 48 volt batteries connected, and you let off the throttle, like the voltage goes up. So it seems like voltage, I don't know, that's weird to me. Can somebody explain that to me, why that happens? Battery combiner, when you let off the throttle, the voltage like goes up temporarily. Anyway, so we got 23% GoPro battery left. Is this getting hot? Yeah, so we're at 59 volts. We got little baby Samsung plugged in. See down here? So let's see how this goes. Let's just try this quick. I don't want to ride around with this damn thing. I need a longer wire here. So am I gonna be able to do this like this? I don't know. Let's see.
I'll pull that up. Okay, oh man. There's a little bit of a tight squeeze here. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, note to self, we're gonna need a longer wire. But here we go. So I'm 59 volts. Getting this baby going. Alright. Oh yeah. So we're just gonna gently go over there. And we'll see how fast it can get going. It was only like a mile, like 1 mile an hour earlier when I tried it. Alright, so we're just cruising. The hill's right down here. You get to the bottom of this, and then we take a right. You'll be able to see. I'm gonna have to change the GoPro battery after that though. Alright, there we go. 32. So we're at about 56 volts. I saw it going like 32. So now we're just going down a giant hill. Alright, so now I just want to get somewhere and like disconnect this battery because it's a little bit short wire and uncomfortable. Please don't land on me, B. So it feels a lot better going up hills and stuff, like I'm accelerating up hills. See, like I accelerated the whole way up that hill because we're doing 2,000 watts. So since the motor windings are kind of limiting the top speed, that wasn't a huge improvement. But with more phase amps from the Phaserunner, and then higher, total watts, with more phase amps, that gives us better acceleration, like a lot better acceleration. Oh man, I might have to change the I have to change the throttle back to pass through. I came back to look at the free bike. What do you guys think of the free bike? It's a Univega Activa something or other. We got a bunch of scared cars driving by. So I think at this point it's probably combining little baby Samsung with the other battery possibly, but then when I let off the throttle and the voltage goes back up, it's showing the voltage from little baby Samsung. It says it's still at 52. The gates are open. Alright, we are gonna. Uh-oh. Okay. All right, puppies, here we go. We're going. We're cruising. We're ripping. Right, man, I was just like, I got so distracted looking at comments, talking to all you puppies. And then I got really hot, standing in the sun for like half an hour. What am I doing? Let's keep going. Please don't run me over. We are cruising, boys. The fat tires are roaring. Man, how are they so bad at parking? What is going on back there? Maybe we should go across the river. Oh, into Minnesota. There's less shenanigans over there. It's Sunday. There's kind of like some shenanigans over here. There we go. There's some cyclists on the opposite side. I didn't even know there's a sidewalk over there. Wow. How far does that go? Oh, that's crazy. How did I not realize there was a sidewalk on the opposite side? What? I'm so confused. I've never gone over there. Huh. You learn something new every day, boys. Oh man, we got some fishermen ahead. There we go. 2,000 watts. Cruising. 28 miles an hour up the hill. Slight incline. What a day, boys. Oh. We've gone 9.25 miles. It looks like they finally finished the construction on the bridge for the interstate just in time for winter. Great work. Whoa. I can tell a big difference. I can tell a big difference, like right now, doing a lot of power or cruising. Normally I'd be pedaling pretty hard right there. With like the stock controller. I would like to get some sun, but I don't want to get stung by a bee. They always get me. So if you, oh, that was a weird number that I just saw there. We use 6.7 amp hours. The Cheetah is supposed to have 25. What is this? This is new. Huh. There's a new thing on the wall. I like it. Heads up, bunny.
really hear that motor now. On Phaserunner. Sounding nice and smooth. Where should we go? Where should we go? What do we got here? 7. Let's go this way. Good thing we got that full suspension. You guys see how fast the Cheetah just pounces up to max speed now? I like it. Fall is in the air, it's cooling down. These tires are real loud. Oh, that sounded funny. I've got a scrapey front brake. What's up, squirrel? What is that noise? Is that my front tire? What? My front brake rotor is, oh, it's quiet now. Let's just leave it alone. Let's not disturb the front brake rotor. Man, this is a smooth cruiser now. Or cruising, for sure. We're at the Embrace Church. Sometimes they have like a pizza party. That's pretty sweet. In this day and age, I don't want to get all religious on you boys, but in this day and age, anywhere that there's a free pizza party going down, it's gotta be a good place. Am I right? Can't be that bad. I've never been to it, but I always see the sign, and I like it. I like that. There's a lot of churches right here. There's another one over there, Baptist. Valley Baptist. 2 right in a row. I was reading up on Scientology lately. And that is something else, boys. That's interesting. That's something else. I think those ladybugs are new. Huh. Oh. The cheetah's motor has a very distinctive purr. The nice thing about when you can accelerate faster is that it's not as annoying to slow down and have to stop. Maybe I should weld the clutch in the Cheetah motor and make it do regen. Fall is in the air, boys. It's cooling down quite a bit. Not sure where I'm going. I took a funny street here. Let me go this way. Oh, here we are. Oh. Is this thing still going, puppies? Let's see. Yeah, wow. Man, it makes such a big difference when it's not so hot out with the GoPro. When it goes above like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the GoPro is just like game over. It's like it works like half as good or something. Or at least this Hero 11. Is there a park on the other side of this? What is over there? I think there might be something on the other side of the road. How much have I used here? 10 amp hours. The battery gauge is still showing pretty full, boys, or 50 volts. So I've gone 15.5 miles, 15.6, and we've used about 10.25 amp hours. It's a pretty efficient machine, boys. we get a nod out of her. I didn't see if it was an e-bike. Female cyclists are often friendlier than male cyclists. But not always. Let's see here. What's going on over here? I like this mirror. I positioned it down here. It works a lot better. It's out of the way. Is the GoPro still going? Yeah. We're still going. Here we go, boys. The Afton Cruise. It's a timeless classic. Just flew through a gnat cloud. I'm looking over at the river and there's a boat that appears to be going exactly 27 miles an hour along with me. Interesting. No, this is the Afton Cruise, boys. This way. Here we go. guys should see. Let's see how hot the motor is. Because I'm about to go up a big giant hill. Let's see here. It's actually not very hot at all. I don't think we're gonna have any problems here. As long as we're not going too slow. That's when you run into crazy problems. Like trying to climb a mountain or something, but this, we're gonna be able to keep going at least like 20 something. I'll help out. I guess I'm exercising. I haven't pedaled for a while, boys. So this, I look at this as an opportunity to pedal. A little bit awkward. The corn is getting tall, boys. It's taller than I am, look at it. Is this GoPro still going? Hello? Yeah. I think the cyclists back there were of the pompous variety. The pompous flavor. I don't see them back there. They're still pedaling. Have fun, bubbies. Peace out. They were laughing. They're not laughing right now. I'm just getting a little bit of exercise too, bubbies. But I'm not gonna have a fucking heart attack pedaling up that big giant hill. That hill is crazy, man. I'm not pedaling up that. I respect that they are. I respect that. That's impressive. But they're laughing about something. They're laughing about the cheetah. Or they're laughing about my Crocs. And my UV shirt that's tucked into my sweatpants. Oh, we gotta hit the brakes here, boys. Oh, listen to those Gemma brakes. Whoa. We got a ripper boy right there, bubby. So we're at 13.25 amp hours. All right, let's go. We're going up here. It sounds like Motorcycle Boy might be turning around. Hopefully he's not like a crazy robber. He might have. Sometimes when you have a camera on, people think you're up to something, but I'm wearing like joggers and Crocs, so that usually kind of gives a different impression. Kind of a goofy one. Cheetah's getting up the hill 25 miles an hour. I don't think we would be doing that on the stock controller. We're going 29 miles an hour with 200 watts. We're using 6 amps. Oh. Man, I need a hoodie or something. There's a guy with a fire over there, and it looks like he's doing some kind of a ritual. Nice. Let's go this way. What do we got here? 15 amp hours? Huh. We're still going. It says it's at, what, 48 volts? No load. Whoa. Here we go. It's crazy that the GoPro's still going. I can't believe that. Usually it would have been like dead by now. Fall is definitely in the air. It's cooling down. sun feels good.
Man.
So the 48-volt batteries, when they start to go below like halfway, like, let's see, where are we at? We're actually at like 18 amp hours, so that's a lot more than halfway. So they start to slow down a little bit in terms of the top speed. We still have little baby Samsung in my backpack just in case. Might plug them in at some point just to go a little bit faster on the way back. I'm also curious about how far we can go with these batteries, because we can actually see the exact amp hours that we've discharged on the Cycle Analyst. Now, I did use a little bit of amp hours going down that one hill with little baby Samsung, but not a whole lot. There's some boats, some water vessels down here cruising today, boys. Look at this. Absolutely ripping. Oh, man. That was crazy. We got 10% left on the GoPro battery. That means it's like gonna go dead right now, basically. Let's see, is the motor hot? No, I felt it hotter. Alright. I could probably even strap little baby Samsung on here if I had something to strap him on there with. I need a new battery. We gotta keep it moving. There's a giant gnat cloud descending upon me. Some friendly people walking along the path. It's like the perfect day to be riding the HAOQI CHEETAH. This is slow going, buddy. What's going on up here? So we're at about 19 amp hours. I wonder if the GoPro's still going. I wonder how far we'll get on the Cheetah batteries. What are we at? 42 volts? Huh. Still got a good amount of torque. Lots to see about this hill. It's a big one. I have to pedal. We're still going 24 though. We're still going. Still closed out here? Oh, that's taking forever to do that. Hello, dear. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? That was something else. Wow. It's really cold down here. We gotta get back out in the sun. Where'd that sun go? There's all that hazy stuff in the sky. The winter dust. What is that, boys? The winter dust that makes it winter. I just got this feeling like something wet is on my back. That's kind of gross. We're still going. The Cheetah is a very efficient machine. We've gone 30 miles. We used 20.6 amp hours on those dual batteries. People drive all funny around bikes. Like some people just can't quite do it. They don't get it. There's a whole road. It'll be interesting to see what happens and when this thing does the low voltage cutoff at 40.5 volts. Well, it looks like it's kind of, it was just getting it right there when I was doing 2000 watts. It was blinking, but now it's back up at 42.6. We might have to pop in little baby Samsung. Oh my god, we missed the light here because low voltage. Oh. Oh. So we got 32.6. Oh, my GoPro's still going. Wow, 10 minutes left. So we're getting the low voltage cutoff thing blinking right now. It says 40.4. So let's see here. We've gone. So usually on the Cheetah, it would like start lowering the power. It would like start throttling. So let's see. What do we got to do here? It seems like the batteries. The BMS. So the BMS on the batteries might cut out lower than the controller. So I think on the Cheetah, it might have been the controller that was cutting off when the voltage got low. It seems like the batteries can go a little bit lower. So I've gone through 22.5 amp hours. And we're at 43.3 volts. 33.1 miles. GoPro's running low. Running low. So I'm sure the Cheetah could probably keep going more on these batteries. But I think what I'm gonna do just for the final hurrah here is I'm gonna plug in little baby Samsung and we'll see the voltage increase. And then we'll see how fast we can get going just by plugging in little baby Samsung for this final stretch here. I got 7 minutes left on my SD card, so let's try it out. Alright, so we're gonna disconnect this guy.
So then it jumped up to, where is that now? 42.8. So I think it went slightly lower. So then let's plug in little baby Samsung. Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna plug in little baby Samsung. So right now it says 42.8 volts and it shows me a dead battery gauge. Now, what does it look like? 57.8 volts. Look at that, boys. We're back to full. Little baby Samsung. It's gonna give us a booster on the way back. We got like 7 minutes on the SD card. So we're just gonna go quickly. We're gonna make this wire a little bit longer. Oh man, we're kind of stretching it to the limits there, boys. All right. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're cruising again. Let's boost that power back up. I turned it down. Man, now we're going 30 again, boys. Look at that. Nice. So we're discharging 1200 watts out of little baby Samsung, going 29.7, well, 30 miles an hour uphill, up a slight incline. It feels nice and warm right here. We're at 53.5 volts. Still cruising. So how much did I drain out of that other one? Like, oh, 22 or something? It's been a fun ride. We got to try out little baby Samsung with the HAOQI Cheetah and a battery combiner. Right now, little baby Samsung's at 56 volts. So little baby Samsung has still got a good, like 7 amp hours or something. That we could go further, but this is all the further my SD card can go. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm getting cold. I need a hoodie. I gotta go back. I gotta eat something. But it's been a fun ride. Thanks for riding along on the HAOQI Cheetah with the Grin Tech Phaserunner and the Cycle Analyst display. Follow along, like and subscribe as I continue to do different things with the HAOQI Cheetah in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.